Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a review on my Alienware X51 computer. I've had it for about 4 months now, and I did an unboxing a while ago, but I kind of want to do more of an in-depth review now that I've had some time to play with it, get used to it, things like that. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and go through the specs. So let me look at my notes. Alright, so let me go through everything that is included on this computer, tell you what version it is, all of that. So this is a Alienware X51 R3, and I bought it in November 2015. I'm not sure how much of a difference there is depending on what time you buy it, but that's when I bought it. And I bought the cheapest model you could buy. There's many different options, you could add on things and all of that. But I just got the bare minimum of everything. So let me go through what all that includes. It is air cooled. It is not liquid cooled, although you can get that on higher price models. It is a 6th generation Intel Core i3 processor. It comes with Windows 10. There's 8 gigabytes of RAM, and there's an option to install upgrade to 16 gigabytes. But I found that it's a lot cheaper. It costs about half as much if you do it yourself. And it's not that hard to replace it yourself. Also, the video card is a NVIDIA, I'm not sure how to say that, GeForce GTX 745 with 4 gigabytes DDR3. And what's good about that card is that it has a DVI, an HDMI, and a VGA port. Now there's also a HDMI port on the back of the computer, which I'll show you later. But what's cool about this card is that DVI and HDMI are digital, VGA is analog. So if you still have, like many of you probably do, an old monitor like me, you can still hook up an analog monitor to this video card. But if you have a newer monitor that has several inputs, you probably don't have to worry about this. Overall, with this computer, this is what I have the most problems with. This is the lowest price option for video cards, and I found on a few games I get a little bit of flickering and a little bit of the screen. Well, it doesn't all refresh at once. I could see blur lines, and so that is my main recommendation of something you upgrade and not just go for the cheapest there. Let me see what else. It has a 1 terabyte hard drive, and it is a SATA drive, not a solid state drive. It has a DVD drive, and there is a option to upgrade to Blu-ray, and I'll go through it later. That this DVD drive it's a little loud when you insert and remove discs. Oh, I didn't even write it in my notes. There's a wireless card in here, and it works good for me. I believe there's options to upgrade that as well. And there's also an Alienware keyboard and mouse. They are free, but you have to select it when you're checking out. You have to click on it, yes, I want this, or else they won't include it in the bundle. Now I'll go over the keyboard and mouse, what I thought about them later. And this computer does not come with Microsoft Office or antivirus, but Dell has the option for you when you get these with your new computer. So that is all the specs. Now let me grab my camera and have a more hands-on of what all the ports are and how things work and all that. Alright, next I will be going through the ports on the back of the computer. We'll go ahead and start here. And also, I want to mention, when I first got this, I thought maybe since I got the cheaper version that I didn't have this HDMI here. There's actually a plug there. It's very hard to take out, but there is a HDMI here, and it's not part of the video card. It's separate. But anyway, on the back we have HDMI. We have 2 USB 3 ports. We have 2 USB 2 ports. We have our LAN, or I'm sorry, our Ethernet port right here. This is for an Alienware graphics booster, and that is a separate Alienware item. I do not have that today to show you. Down here we have 2, I believe these are super speed USBs, and I believe they're 10 gigabits a second, something like that, so a little bit faster for when you want to move more data. at once. Down here, these three are actually for a sound system. They're for subwoofer and speakers and all that. So that's a nice option, that you have more than just a headphone out to hook up to other things. One thing that I think is kind of funny is the processor light right here. That is actually on the back. So some people, like me, I like to see it, and well, you're gonna have to have the whole thing facing backwards if you want to see that light flickering while you're using the computer. Down here we have our video card, and now with the bigger video cards you have this whole space here to put in big video cards. This is just a little tiny one, but as I was showing you earlier, you have HDMI, DVI, and VGA ports. So this is nice if you wanted to use an old analog display, but if you have new ones, I wouldn't worry about it. So this is the GTX 745, and I would recommend upgrading that to a different one. Just I get a little flickers, and sometimes the screen doesn't refresh nicely, and that is my only problem with this computer, is that card. And then down here I have it plugged in, but there's your power port. And you also have this guy right here with all of your information on there and all the safety warnings and things like that. On the one side, if my camera will focus, there we go. On the one side we have this black matte finish. It is not gloss. And you have your little light bar right here, whatever you want to call it. And you can see it has the Alienware logo on the side. And then on the front you have a gloss finish, so you can see the reflection of my blinds right there. But there is all these vents on top. There's actually a fan right there. And there's the power button. Now, I'll get to it later, but you can change the colors on these guys. You cannot change the power button color. So just a little note there. We have our DVD drive here. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus this as best I can. But here's our DVD drive. And here are two more USB 3 ports on the front here. There's also a headphone jack and a microphone jack. And down here we have our little alien head. And he lights up as well. And let me figure out which way. He can turn sideways, but I believe it's only one way. So if you don't have your computer vertical like this, yeah, you could just turn them that one way. Over here on the other side, we have these little, what do you call them, these characters on the side. And I actually saw, because I got the Alienware keyboard, the WASD keys have these symbols on them. And I found out this actually spells Alienware in whatever alphabet it is that they're using. So other than that, this other side is pretty much the same. It does have these two small bumps. Well, nope, over here, it rests on here, but that's for when you're setting your computer over sideways, so it doesn't scratch the whole thing. It actually has the 2 feet there. You can see the feet back here as well. And I don't know if you want to see the bottom, but there's the bottom, lots of vents. And actually, you can see it's not flat. It kind of has a little V shape, so air can get under there and go through. And I believe that is it on all the physical aspects of it. One other thing that I really like about this computer, understand I've had this for 4 months now. It has games on it, it has videos on it. I've transferred all my stuff from my old computer. What's nice is it has a real fast startup. And you can see here, from the time I push the button, is just a few seconds before it's up and ready to go. And that's really nice. You know, my old computer took several minutes to start up. And this one, I don't know if you're counting the seconds or not, but there we go. We're good to go. It's all started up. Now here is the mouse that comes with the computer if you select it on checkout. I no longer have the keyboard that came with it. I gave it to a friend. So you could check my old video if you want to look at that. The keyboard was decent. It felt better than most cheapy, you know, I need a keyboard, I'm just going to buy the generic one. It felt better than those. It was very, very light to push the buttons, not that hard. But it was a membrane keyboard, and I didn't like it. I swapped it out. I bought a new one. But anyway, so here's the mouse. that came with it. And I'm sorry, it's not that I didn't like the keyboard that came with it, but I wanted something nicer. And so anyway, here's the mouse that came with it. You see it has our little alien head on there. It has a scroller, 2 buttons. Nothing fancy at all. There's the Alienware logo on the back. And it's just a laser mouse. But this, it is very cheap. I do not like this at all. The keyboard was alright, but this one just, the clicks don't feel as good as just this cheap mouse that I've had forever. The scroll is, you can't really feel the individual clicks on the scroller, and it just seems a little unresponsive when I use it compared to just, you know, the cheapest mouse I could find somewhere else. So although this is free, if you need it, go ahead and get a free mouse, but this thing isn't great at all. If you spend any money, you will get a better mouse than this, in my opinion. So like I was saying, the keyboard that came with this for free was alright, but I went ahead and upgraded, and now my camera doesn't like this keyboard just because of the colors are very bright and awesome, and my camera is allergic to that. But it is made by Magic Eagle, and let me read the name for you. It is a Havit HV-KB366L, and it is a mechanical keyboard. Well, hold on, it's plugged into my computer. I don't want to mess anything up, but it is a mechanical keyboard. It has blue switches in it, and it is very nice. This is just a little side note here. I would recommend this. I believe this was only $80 or $90, which is great compared to Razer keyboards. And this is also a metal keyboard. It's not made out of plastic. But the only downside of this is there's no volume knob or button. That kind of gets on my nerves, but it's a mechanical keyboard. It's loud like all the mechanical keyboards, but it's very nice. I could type very fast on this, and you know, it could do all sorts of colors, and it could glow on and off, and yeah, I could anyway, I like this keyboard. So back to the computer. Okay, so I know the reason why many of you are interested in this computer is to see how well it runs games. So far, I've not played a game that it does not run very well on. It runs well on Minecraft. It runs well on, well, let me get to the sad part. I have not bought any PlayStation 4 or Xbox One equivalent games on here yet. I just haven't spent that money on games recently, but all PS3 equivalent games, all other games, it runs very fast. Everything loads well, and everything looks good except for the graphics card that I told you. Like on Minecraft, you might get little artifacts and things like that. I've played Castle Crashers where the screen will not all refresh at once, so you see all these blurry lines across, but it does run games very well. And yes, for all of those wondering, all those Minecraft guys out there, it does run Minecraft extremely well, even with shader mods. This is with the Ether's Unbelievable shader, and it runs fine. It runs a solid 30 frames per second always. It'll never go lower than that with shaders on. Without shaders, it'll do 60 frames per second. It'll never drop below that. And just everything works very well on this computer. I'm sorry, but I'm actually not good at video captures. I bought a video capture and it didn't work. But I mean, I've done, you know, the Minecraft TNT tests and all that, and this computer does them great. I've covered a whole mountain in TNT and it blew it all off, no problem at all. The only time it'll slow down is if you actually do blocks of TNT, so that's for all the Minecraft guys. But yes, this computer works very well for games. And I'll also add, it works very well for rendering videos, which I do since I have a YouTube channel. But you could actually hear the fan speed up when your processor is working really hard. You can hear the fan speed up. It's not loud or annoying or anything, but you can hear it. And yeah, it's real fast on everything. And I was also going to give you a demo of the DVD player noise right now. So here we go. This thing's just a little noisy, not too bad, but when you put some in. So not too bad, but It's noisy when it's quiet in the house, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I dimmed down the lights for this part. I'm going to go ahead and show you the different colors you can do on the computer case itself. Altogether there are 19 colors, and you can turn them off. And what also you can do is there's 3 spots. There's this side, the front, and the other side. You can make the colors, you don't have to make them all the same color. You could pick a color for each zone, but for simplicity, I'm going to change them all at once right now and just go through the colors. And I know it looks a lot better in real life. I record with my phone and it doesn't like picking up the colors that much, but so there's your blue, there's your first color. We have a couple different blues. We have some more teal colors. Now that one right there is one of my favorites. And we start to mix in some green. There's a nice dark green right there. Light green. And we have a few different yellows. And we go into oranges, and I mean these colors are fun to mix and match, you know, and a very strong red. I'd also like to point out, and there's a pink, I wanted to point out that some of these colors are very strong, like the red and the blue and all that. And some of them are very weak, like that purple right there, that's our last color. It looks good, but it's not nearly as strong as the red is, you know. Same over here. Some of these colors are a little weak when compared to darker, more. But anyway, just not all the colors are the same in brightness. And then of course you have the option to turn them all off if you want to. And like I said, I can pick the head on front and make that green. I can pick the side and make that red. You know, you can do whatever combination you want. And that's just a little add-on. But you can only change the sides, the front, and the other side. You cannot change the power button. That's always white. And I believe that is wrapping it up for this video. So the only other thing I could think about this computer, it usually retails, I mean it's 2016 right now, but it retails for about $700, and that's this version with no upgrades on it. Every now and then, if you could get it during a sale, like I got during Black Friday, it'll be $650. So not too bad, and I really like it. It works well. It does the job well. I'm sorry I don't have any like PlayStation 4 games for you guys, you know, or I mean equivalent games to show you on here. But it does everything else very well. It's very smooth and fast, and I like all the ports on it. All the loading's fast too. So that's it. I hope you guys really enjoy. If you liked it, please thumbs up. If you have any suggestions how I could improve on my videos, let me know. And I believe that's it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys. Bye.